Can we just talk? Just you and me. Well, good evening and welcome to
Marriage Investment.
And this is the place where you get to hear real couples talk about real life with real issues. And we have these E words we want to encourage,
Enhance,
and enlighten. Invite somebody. 30 minutes goes by really fast. So we want to introduce our couples. And we'll probably do another introduction because of things going on that are all good. We have some couples, at least we know one that'll be joining us. So we want to introduce the Cormans, and we have Anthony and Laquita Corman who are with us. And welcome to the Cormans.
Hi, thank you.
hello everyone.
We are the Cormans. I am Anthony Corman. And this beautiful, lovely lady sitting beside me is Laquita Corman. And we've been married 29 wonderful, awesome years. We are middle school sweethearts. And we, yes.
Nice.
From New Bern, North Carolina.
From the Carolinas. All right. And we have another couple that's been on with us before. And we're going to ask Sylvester and Rhoda Basie not only to greet us and tell us what they want to tell us, they're also going to introduce another couple that they've invited to be on. And Diane and I are going to say a little bit about that.
Okay, so we are Sylvester and Rhoda Basie. We've been married for 28 years now. It'll be 29 this year. And we live in Marietta, Georgia, which is just north of Atlanta. And we're so happy to be here. And our invited guests are Robert and Judy Foster. Judy and I have been friends since we were 15. So yeah, we've been friends since we were 15. And she and her husband, they reside in Louisville, Kentucky. Yes. And she and Robert have been married now, I think like 5 years. Is that right?
Okay.
Judy? You guys have been married 5 years?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Well,
they're-
nice looking family.
Yes. I will be 60 on October the 10th of this year.
All
Yeah.
right.
Congratulations.
So for those of you who have seen, this is episode 5 of Marriage Investment. You've seen episodes and you say, okay, we've got another family on. Well, Marriage Investment is a prelude to what's going to be happening in the future by inviting other husbands and wives, eventually families, because we will get into some parenting issues in upcoming episodes. So thank you for doing that. The Basies are following the trend and the protocol of the initial training that we did to invite others. You know, eventually we'll do interactive pieces and chats and all of that. We're going to go to our love mug, which debuted during episode 1 and 2. It's a random selection so that they get to, my wife is going to choose actually between the Cormans and the Basies, who's going to go first. And so
We have the
Basies.
Okay. Okay, so the questions that I chose to pick is list some things our marriage can be compared to. So I would like to say that this has been a roller coaster ride. Our marriage is very much a roller coaster ride because, you know, in 28 years of marriage, we started off as, very young. We were in our early 20s, now in our early 50s, but we have, it's been, the birth of children have been, going up. What does that bring to a marriage when we didn't even answer, how would we raise our children, what we would do. That was not even questions that we talked about. So in marriage comes, the ups and downs of marriage, the raising children, all of the different things that can come with marriage, all of the different trials and tribulations, the highs and the lows. So I definitely compare our marriage to a roller coaster ride, and we're so thankful that in one of those moments when our marriage was like just going crazy down the roller coaster, we happened to meet the Adams, and it kind of steadied out, smoothed out the marriage and helped us to recognize that we needed to put God first in our marriage. And they definitely gave us some tools to work with so that we could better equip ourselves to handle the ups and downs that came along with marriage. So so grateful for that. So grateful that we learned to put God first in our family with our marriage. So that was my take on what to compare our marriage to.
Okay.
I would compare it to a daycare. I mean, we have 6 kids and 9 grandkids, so we've had kids around for such a long time, and it's actually has been a blessing just to see our older kids, as you know them, have grown up to be productive citizens, and they do love God, and that in itself is very gratifying and very proud of them for finding their own way. So it's and we've always had kids over because we have 5 boys and a girl. So we, all of the kids is always coming in our house. So we have kids all over the place. And so that's why I would compare it to a daycare. And it's been like that for many, many years. And I wouldn't change it for the world. I truly enjoy, being able to mentor the young men and just talk to them. Some of them are from single family homes, and then it gives us the opportunity to just be a witness to them.
Wow, really appreciate both of you. Roller coaster and then a day when your kids have friends, that gives us an opportunity to allow our kids to invite their friends in to see how a godly home operates. Peace, and we eat meals together, and we talk about the Lord, and we're ordinary people. We're not strange or freaks or anything like that. We watch TV and do stuff. So the mentoring, a lot of the young men or your kids as friends caught a lot and still are. And we still run into people now that we kind of did the same thing with our kids and through other opportunities we're involved with the youth. But thank you. We're going to go to the Cormans because they're the 2 out of our random that are actually on. So we're going to go to the Cormans.
Again, good evening, with the Cormans. The topic I chose also was there's some things our marriage can be compared to. And what I think that our marriage can be compared to is glue. Glue, it sticks to anything, and it is, it's hard to pull it apart. So, and I look at my wife and our relationship, how we met, at a young age, and some people didn't want to see us together. While we were young, they were jealous of us. And then even now, leading up to our marriage, being together, family, try to pull you apart, try to separate you. Mm-hmm. Sometimes your parents don't like the guy. Mm-hmm. Your parents don't like the wife, and the stuff you deal with is in a marriage that try to pull a marriage apart. People try to separate you, family, friends, don't want to see you together. They're jealous of your marriage. And even through the trial that our marriage have gone through, there's not been anything to be able to tear us apart. We stick together. I mean, we support each other, whatever we're dealing with, we stick together. We always together. We together in bed. We stick together like glue. When the children try to separate, try to manipulate, we stick together. Nothing can tear us apart. So it's like glue. We always gonna be sticking together. forever. Blue.
Sounds
almost
like
follow
King
that.
Corner.
Can you follow that?
Nah, I can't follow that. Let me see.
Well, it
And it's
sounds like
crazy
King
glue.
Corman.
And crazy glue, because I'm crazy about her. Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, that's my best friend. Yeah. Okay. So I was debating. He kind of wanted me to do the same one that he was doing. So
She's got her own mind too. I still love her. Go ahead.
okay. I'll follow then. How about that? Okay. So and choosing the same one, I would say that well, it's something like the Basie says, because we have a lot of kids as well. So I was like, it's like a team. It's like a sport in here. We have the coaches, and like we're the coaches, and we have a big team because we have 5+ kids of our own. We have our grands, and we always have somebody else's children in our home as well. So he compared it to a daycare. I'm just gonna use a team because we always have other people kids like to come over. And so of course, because we have what we call two sets of kids, we have we have grown kids and also younger kids. We have um so we have a mixture with their friends coming over, and also because we have younger kids, we have a 11, 8, and 9-year-old. So we still have younger kids also that comes over. So our yard is full of kids are in the house. Um, as far as our marriage, I would say that we're always coaching, we're together, and we always trying to call the right plays for the team so we can we'll huddle together, we like to have family meetings. It's like our huddle, so we can get pictures from the other kids to see what the kids think as well. But we do come on the sidelines and decide on what their play is, and we do well, agreeing to disagree at times as well. So he makes a good head coach. So so we enjoy working and helping the kids and working together. So I would say that we make, and of course we foster with foster parents too.
Would you tell us how many years you've been foster parents?
Oh goodness. Oh, we've been fostering. It's
you know the numbers, your numbers first.
I know, but it's been so long.
See, it's been a long. I knew it had been a long time.
Yeah, I know it's over. It's probably about 15 years, maybe.
Do you have any idea how many kids have been in and out of your home as foster parents?
No.
Okay.
Maybe keeping them numbers. Maybe keeping them stats.
And what's the ages between the oldest of your own 5 and the youngest, and then throw the grandchild in there also?
Okay, so our oldest is what, 27? Yeah, 27 is our oldest, and then our youngest is 8, and our we have our grandbaby. Our first grandbaby is 1.
Let me go back to the basics. Would you tell us the ages of your kids as well and grands?
oh my gosh.
Our oldest son is 30, and our youngest is 13. And we have grandkids. We have 9. The oldest is 14, and the youngest is 1.
Okay. So we might need to take up an offering for somebody to do something.
I received that.
I'm gonna ask my wife to take a card, and she's gonna start out with one of the same cards that we asked our partners this week to answer.
okay. All right. As I study the current climate of our marriage, what is the forecast? Explain using weather terms. I may not be looking at the forecast, but perhaps We've just come out of a storm, I would say, because Wim contracted COVID and had the COVID pneumonia and had to stay 7 days in hospital. And so that was quite stormy. We couldn't visit at all. We had to do the technology online FaceTime. And so that was stormy. So whatever's after the storm, that's where we are now, right? But I just want to give praise to the Lord for helping us to weather that storm. Because he's always faithful. He was there every moment, every day with us as we prayed and sought the face of the Lord, and people praying and texting and encouraging, and just saw the body of Christ rally around us to encourage us. And it was like fabulous joy in the midst of the storm. The Lord showed himself faithful through his people. So as we riding out the storm, is calm. Praise Jesus for the calmness. So yeah.
Justin and Tara Howery, and would y'all tell us how long you've been married and where you live?
Okay, well, we live in New Bern, and we've been married how many years?
20.
Yeah.
We just celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary in January. So
all right, congratulations.
Amen,
Congratulations. And to all the audience, we knew in advance because of what the Howeries do. They're intimately involved in the community and outreach and doing all kind of things in ministry, which is why he was on. So he's not on late. He was just on because he had a previous assignment from the Lord before today. So everything is fine. So we've heard from the Cormans, the Baseys, and the Adams. We'd like for you to at least take one of the topics in this episode, and we want to hear what you have to say.
All right, well, I'll defer to ask Tara which one she wants to do first. Which one?
why you put me on the spot?
Well, we can do the weather one in regards to what the forecast is, and so she came up with a good one, and then she did.
Okay.
Go ahead. So we both came up with it together, but I let her share it.
Okay.
Why?
Well,
I'm sorry. I was not prepared to go first. I was thinking he was going first. So let me gather my thoughts about me and be ready. Okay. So I would say, well, my joking answer was Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. It was a movie that my kids, we watched with our kids when they were young. And I think that in some ways that's true still, that you never quite know what to expect. It's like it's cloudy and then suddenly it's raining meatballs, right? You thought it was going to rain, but meatballs are falling instead. So I think that sometimes they're just life events have kind of taken us where, between, being military family, being a pastoral family, having kids that are young and then growing up and then parents coming to live in the area. There've been a lot of trials and tribulations through the years with some very traumatic events that happened. Like my mother got Guillain-Barré syndrome, and some things happened with the kids that were fairly traumatic. And so just kind of, you never quite know what to expect. But I think that the sunshine is coming. But even when it's raining, that we're learning to dance in the rain.
Ooh,
that's it.
All right.
That's why I let her do it.
Yeah. All right, so it's your turn, honey.
Okay. I'd have to say that I agree and ditto with that. That's a smart man right there, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Look. Okay. And I get to hold it for a moment now. So one of the other topics that we were talking about was the first one was back to each other. That's what it was. Thank you. And so that's why she's my better half.
That's right.
And so it's really is number one, I knew she was smarter than me. And so I knew that I was getting like, getting good, because I was like, she's definitely going to fill out the other half, or really say 3/4 of the part that I need, so is that she was smart, and that she was a Christian. Number one, she was a follower of Christ, and that made her beautiful. And also, that her and her whole family were following the Lord. And, I wanted that in my life. And so, that's what attracted. And then we, dated physically distanced in a different time. I was in Paris Island and she was up in the DC area. And so we wrote letters, and that was our first part of relationship for months. And then, God continued to work and brought us together. And so that's what I think just continuing to seek the Lord together. And we had some tough conversations. She was very gracious. And so, I was just so thankful that she continued to want to, pursue the relationship and what she felt. And I'm going to share on her behalf. Is she says, it's because I loved you. And
Wow.
so that's why.
Wow.
So beautiful.
That is really neat.
So that's there's a lot more in that, but I won't go into it too long. But that's our 1 minute sharing there. I'm done. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Well, we're gonna ask you to stick around because we're just about out of time. But I do want the audience to know, Justin Howery, as mentioned, I mentioned in ministry, he is a pastor in his church, and his wife is a nurse. And so they are quite busy. I have actually taught at least one of their kids Bible class at school. So we've known each other for a little while. For those of us of our listening audience, the common denominator in all our couples is that Diane and I, most of the time, know all the couples. Today, the Forsters are joining us. As you see their picture, beautiful family, by the way. And so they were invited by the Bases, and that's really how marriage investment works. When we're on, we're a network of a bunch of marriages trying to enlighten and encourage one another. I did want to go back to the Howerys and let our audience know that one of the topics that we will do in the future, they're currently caregivers. I think that both of you have your moms, right? Okay. And my mom went to be with the Lord at age 90 back in January. Diane's mom went to be with the Lord it's been about 8 years ago, right? And we caregive for both of them. That's a whole area that we will talk about in the future about caregiving. I would like to say what it made it easy for us, and I do see this in the Howerys, is that she and I decided when we first got married that if our parents needed help, we were just going to take care of them. So it never was an issue. That became very easy for us. And as she and I have watched the Howerys and even seen them out, I think not too long ago before COVID really broke, I think we're all at the movies and y'all had your moms at the movies.
Hanging out.
Yeah. So we're going to ask you to pray about coming on in the future and talk about caregiving for parents because there's a lot involved in that. And I've seen it work best when the husband and wife are in agreement that we're going to do this together
as a team.
We are getting ready to talk about probably one other item. We would like to go to the Cormans. Tell us how, I think that they talked about all these kids, because we know some things about the Cormans, but we want them to tell you, and it's their first time on, and it's a plethora of stuff to talk about. We know that every year they at least do a vacation with only the two of them. So we want you to let our audience know how in the world with all these kids and foster kids, do you keep some kind of romance going in a marriage?
Mm-hmm. How we keep the romance? Well, I think the value that we place in the marriage, because we looking at the background that we came from, that we didn't really see any good marriage role models. We didn't see that model. I had different parents, fathers, my father was in my life. My wife, father, parents getting, pregnant young, at a young age, not really seeing a model. And we just all around, we just really never saw any models, really models of true marriage, So I think for us, when we got together, it was a vow to us that our marriage was going to be different, that we're not going to have kids scattered everywhere, different, different. Kids going to have the different daddies and all this. So we're going to make sure that it's going to be a family. We're going to have our children going to be by the same dad, the same woman, So I think just placing that value on that and that commitment that we have for each other, we want to do whatever it took to make that work, So, just raising family, it takes a lot of you. So we just intentionally make sure that we're going to make sure our marriage is healthy, that it stays together, that we keep the glue together, we keep the romance in there, and the Lord, just seeking the Lord, asking him to help us to give us the strength that we need and just keep us together. I think that.
So we're intentional.
I
think it's very intentional that we spend time together because if we're not healthy, then our family's not healthy. So each year we make sure that we have at least we know that during our anniversary week, that October the 17th, which is going to be 30 years for us, that we know that during that week or that week after that, we're doing a getaway for us. And so we plan it. So that means that we're planning for our children to be with either the great thing about having older children is that you do have someone to watch your children, but even not, we have my mom and also we do respite for our foster children as well. So those who are not as manageable with with staying with family, it can be very difficult. So we're always planning ahead, and even like little getaways. Right now, we just make sure that we plan ahead, and we've kind of made. We don't have a man cave, but we have he/she cave that we built for in our garage, which with COVID. So we always plan a little getaway. So I think last weekend we went to the Bahamas. It was in our garage, but but we definitely plan a getaway so that we can do something. We just go in there and shoot pool and make bets. That'll get you a good foot rub and.
Good, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, so. So we're very intentional about planning and making sure we plan ahead so that financially we're able to make sure that we do it, and we don't ever forget about the kids. So we do summer vacations for them every year. So we do a family vacation so they're never forgotten about or feel like, mom and dad always getting away. So we make sure that they're taken care of first, and then we're doing our getaway.
Amen. We knew that, but we wanted our audience to hear that. Y'all are just some incredible families. Thank you, Howries, and thank you for being on with us, Foster family. Thank you, Bases. Thank you, Cormans. Of course, we're out of time. We're gonna ask all of our couples to come right back and join us, and we will hear kind of a part 2. We'll probably archive that one, and you'll hear in the future, because we still got more topics to cover.
Oh, yes.
But we're going to say goodbye. We love you. Thank you for all of our viewing audience and Marriage Investment joining us for episode 5. They are usually there on Sundays or uploaded. At the end, you'll see either Facebook, YouTube, or our website. We have 3 platforms to see all these episodes. And as you hear certain things, and that you encounter in your sphere of influence, for all of our audience, somebody who say, hey, they need to hear this. This will really be encouraging. Invite them to get on and say, hey, listen to episode 3, listen to episode 5, because we deal with topics, real couples, real life, and we are out of time. So we're going to say goodbye and bless you all. And thank you for joining us.